Humans on the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts. Let's go! I'm very excited for this. I've been looking forward to the Labyrinth reveals for a while now. This set comes out in the OCG in like a week to a week and a half, so we are right around the corner. Very excited to see this. I have no idea what's really going to come here, but all we know is that this archetype should theoretically have synergy with the new Lady of Lament that got revealed last night. But it stands to reason if it has synergy with that card, it should have synergy with other Lady of Laments, and we love Lair here at Just Nuts. At least I do. So, going to keep an eye out for that, but also going to keep an eye out for this as far as just being an archetype in general goes. So, let's hit it, okay? Don't want to waste any more time. We've got a whole archetype to go over. So, the first monster we have here is Labyrinth of the Silver Palace. Very cool. This is the cover art card for the archetype. This is a level 8 Dark Fiend. Whoa! This becomes searchable off of Doomdog Octhros. Okay. 2900 attack, 1900 defense. You can only use the second and third effects of this card once per turn. The first effect reads, your opponent cannot activate monster effects in response to the activation of your normal trap cards. Whoa, that's pretty cool, because it means if you can set this up, it means your opponent has a negate, any kind of quick monster response. They can't do anything to your trap cards, the normal trap cards, which is primarily what you'd be playing if you're playing this with Lair variant, but I'm assuming that means this deck has normal trap synergy, which is a really good sign for Lair. Okay, cool. Second effect, you can target one normal trap in your graveyard. Set it to your field, but it cannot be activated unless you control a Fiend monster. Interesting. Okay, this is just like really cut and dry the way this effect is worded. I don't know if this means if this card leaves the field, you'd be able to activate it without controlling a Fiend or whatever, but she's a Fiend herself, so as long as you don't like set it back and your opponent removes this card. One thing I will say is it doesn't allow the card to be activated immediately, so this is still like somewhat a slow effect here, but still not bad. I mean, it's just a straight up +1. And the third effect, if a monster or monsters leave the field by your normal trap card's effect, you can it is so your card, it has to be a normal trap and it has to be leaving by the effect. So tributing for cost, like Ballista Squad, does not work here. Interesting. When that happens, is a trigger effect to elect to destroy one card your opponent controls or one random card in their hand. Dang. Dang, okay. Kind of a lot going on here. I would say the one thing that is always missing for me from main deck big boss monsters is this card does not have an effect that summons itself to the field. So it does not extend itself. So it is technically a brick to draw, but I'm assuming there's going to be ways to get it out. But other than that, it's a +1 on the second effect. It's a really annoying effect if your opponent tries to set up monster negates with monsters on field. And the third effect also being good, giving you the ability to hurt some stuff if you use that third effect. Pretty cool. Okay. All right. Cool. Next up here, we have Labyrinth Archfiend. Interesting. I'm wondering if it'll actually have Archfiend in the name. This is a level 7 Dark Fiend effect. Oh, also don't forget, searchable off Doomdog Octhros. I know it doesn't extend itself from hand, which kind of hurts it from being searchable because you don't really want it in hand, I think, but we'll see. Okay, level 7 Dark Fiend, 2000 attack, 2800 defense. First and second effects are hard once per turn. The first effect reads, if a trap card is activated, special this card from the hand. Okay, a little bit slow because like obviously you're not activating traps on your turn usually, apart from very specific scenarios, but okay. Second effect, if this card is special summoned, you can set one normal trap card that activates only when an attack is declared directly from your deck to your field. Also interesting. So this can get you a Mirror Force type card. Okay, I mean, not great for modern day standards, but okay. And the last effect, he gains 400 attack for every normal trap with different names in your graveyard. Monsters your opponent controls cannot target fiends you control for attack except for him. Okay, so he gets big pretty quickly and then diverts attacks towards himself. Pretty cool. Not overly great. I think the extension effect could be interesting if he's searchable to hand, because then summoning from hand on like on the opponent's turn could be kind of cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, moving on here, we have a level 4, okay? Level 4 Dark Fiend. Okay, this could be the synergy with like Ties of the Brethren and Arima we've been looking for. This is Labyrinth Servant Ariana. She gives me very hard. What are the twins from Oh man, the isekai with the dude in the jumpsuit. I can't remember the name of that isekai right now, but she reminds me of one of those twins for sure. Anyway, 1600 attack, 21 defense. Decent stats on this girl. Hard once per... Okay. You can only use the first and second effects of this card once per turn and only once that turn. So you cannot use both effects in the same turn. Keep that in mind. The first effect reads, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one Labyrinth card from the deck to the hand. Okay, this could be sick. I mean, just simply going Ties the Brethren, target Arima, summon her. She gets you a +1 immediately. I'm assuming there's some good cards we can search here. Okay. Second effect, if a monster or monsters leave the field by your normal traps card effect, you can draw one card, then you can special a Fiend or set a spell or trap from your hand. Really interesting. Okay. Cool. It's a float effect. Ideally, you'd be using the first effect to search a trap, maybe using the second effect to send another fiend you control to the graveyard or monster you control to the graveyard to use its effect. And when you do, use this to float into another card. It's a draw and then maybe extending from there. Pretty cool. This card could be really nice. It's a Stratos. I'm liking. Okay, next up here we have Labyrinth Chandra, level 3 Dark Fiend. Quick effect. Okay, 2 hard ones per turn effects. They can both be activated. Quick effect, send this card from your hand or field. Okay, field is cool. To the graveyard and discard 1 card. Okay. To set 1 Labyrinth spell or trap directly from your hand or deck to your field. That could be worth. Oh man. And second effect, if a monster or monsters leave the field by your normal traps effect while this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card back to your hand. Not bad. Okay, this card even has layer synergy with Ties of the Brethren. Very cool. Very, very cool. Damn, okay. All right, next effect. Our next one, we have Labyrinth Stove. So this does not necessarily have specific synergy. It's not level 4 or level 3, but still, this is a level 2 Dark Fiend, 0 attack, 2000 defense. Ooh, this becomes searchable off of Malice, because Malice searches any fiend that has a total stat of 2000. Interesting. 2 hard ones per turn effects. Quick effect, send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard and discard a card to set a Labyrinth spell or trap directly from your hand or deck. Okay, so same effect as that guy and the same effect in the second thing, right? If a monster or monsters leave the field by normal traps effect while this card's in the graveyard, ooh, special summon this card. Don't just add it back, special summon it. Very interesting. These are also really interesting to me. They all have synergy. Okay, last one here we have Labyrinth Cucklock. Oh, clock. Okay, it's a clock. Got it. There's a level 1 Dark Fiend, 0/0. You can only use the first and second effects once per turn. Quick effect, discard this card. Oh, just this card. This turn, while you control a Labyrinth monster, you can activate a normal trap card the turn it was set. Okay, interesting. We have a lot of effects that get us traps set on the opponent's turn so far that I've seen, and so making them live could be actually kind of decent. Last effect, if you send a card or cards from your hand to the graveyard to activate a Labyrinth card's effect, or a normal trap card while this card is in your graveyard, you can either add this card to your hand or special summon it. Again, same kind of float. Nice to see, right? They should be able to come back like decently easy. Very cool. Okay, big ones. If this card's easy to get out, it seems pretty good. This girl seems like a really good starter, right? Stratos, and then this one and this one are great because they fetch us stuff and have synergy with layer. Okay, here we go. Field spell. Uh-oh. All right, here we go. Field spell card. This is Labyrinth. I love the artwork on this. Looks really cool. You can only use the first and second effects once per turn each. If you activate a set Welcome Labyrinth normal trap card, you can add this additional effect to its effect. Destroy 1 card on the field. Okay. So when you activate this very specific trap card while this card's on the field, you also just get to pop a card on the field. Non-targeting. Okay. Second effect, if you activate a non-Labyrinth normal trap card, you can special summon 1 Fiend monster from your hand or graveyard. Wow, or graveyard. Interesting. Seems okay. This card doesn't directly get us advantage, but it does have synergy with the second effect to get back any fiend from grave, which is kind of cool because this plus Lilith means like summon Lilith, search a trap, use the trap to interrupt your opponent, and then this card will just reborn the Lilith to use again. And then it's every turn. So kind of cool. I'm pretty curious about this one. This one might be playable, but if you're synergizing this with Lair, then maybe not, because we want to have, we obviously want to have Lair. Okay, next up here we have Labyrinth Setting, a quick play spell. You can activate one card, this card's name per turn, target 2 of your Labyrinth spells or traps that are banished and or engraved, except for itself. Shuffle them into the deck. Then if you control a Fiend monster, you can set non-Labyrinth normal traps with different names from each other directly from the deck equal to the number of cards shuffled. Damn. So if you just shuffled 2 different names, this just sets any 2 normal traps from the deck. That's crazy. I mean, this is slow, right? Because theoretically you would need to get 2 normal traps on your opponent's turn into grave, and they have to be Labyrinth spell traps. This card's only okay. It's just so slow. It's pretty powerful. It resolves in the grind game, but it's very slow. All right, next up we have Welcome Labyrinth. This is the card we were looking at before. Okay, normal trap, you can only use both effects once per turn each. First effect, special summon a Labyrinth monster from your deck, but you cannot special summon monsters from the deck and extra deck until the end of the next turn after this card resolves, except for Fiends. Interesting. Okay, that's honestly not too bad. I mean, especially, like, sure, locks you into Fiends. This seems like a very Fiend-based deck, but also Lair is almost all Fiends aside from Diabolos. But Lilith, any of the Lady of Laments, even Arima's a Fiend. It's pretty not a terrible lock at all. In the second effect, if a monster leaves the field by your normal trap card's effect, while this card is in the graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can set this card to your field. Again, like, really cool. If we just want to play stuff like Torrential Tribute, like getting a lot of these resources back is like so easy. You wipe your opponent's board, but you float into a bunch of different stuff. Really cool. All right, a couple more traps. Next one here is Fair Welcome Labyrinth. Oh, does this count as the other one? No, I don't know. Okay. When a monster declares an attack, if you control a Fiend monster, target 1 card on the field, negate that attack, and if you do, destroy that target, then you can set one non-Labyrinth normal trap from your hand or deck to your field. Wow, this sets any non-Labyrinth normal trap. It's insane, but it is still a battle trap, still mediocre. Maybe it's a one of. It does just work if you just control a Fiend generically, so not the worst, but not the best. Okay, Labyrinth Barrage, here we go. Normal trap card. When you activate a set normal trap card, except for another Labyrinth Barrage, your opponent takes no further damage from your card effects until the end of their next turn after this card resolves. Also, this card's effect becomes that normal trap card's effect when that card is activated. Wow, okay. So you pretty much get to, like, use an effect twice. That's super interesting. Huh. It does keep your opponent from taking any damage until the end of their next turn, which is kind of tough, but being able to copy something is not horrible. It does have to copy something that's like, so it's not as like flexible as Trap Trick, just like copying anything in the deck. This has to copy something that's like right now being activated, but still interesting, definitely. And the last card we have here is Archfiend Glitch. Guess this is an Archfiend card. All right, normal trap card. If you control a Fiend monster, target 1 card on the field, destroy it, then you can send 1 Fiend monster from your deck to the graveyard. Okay, this is just Fiend griefing, but it pops a card on the field instead of shuffling something from grave, and you do have to control a Fiend to do it. Okay, not bad. Definitely potentially playable, but not entirely sure. All in all, this is by far and away the best trap here. One thing I would say is, like, none of the traps are like super wowing me as far as interruptions go. I guess Archfiend Glitch is cool because it does mean that this girl is a 1 card interruption, right? Just use her, search the glitch, set it. That's at least just a Trident pop because you'll already control her, and then you can send another Fiend. Cool. Wait, hold on. Are these floats? No. Okay. So the floats do say a monster has to be sent from, leaves the field. So unfortunately, the send off of that trap card would not trigger these float effects, but that's not the end of the world. There's other things we can do there. I'm honestly pretty happy with everything here. I definitely feel like there's a little bit more that probably the deck needs. Hold on, let's look at the, we have 14, card number 14, card number 15, card number 17. Okay, so there should be one more main deck monster. That's the one card we're going to be waiting here for the next week for this archetype, so keep that in mind. And that it's probably another big monster, because it's like big monster, then you get to all the small monsters. So my guess would be it's another, you know, level 5, level 6 monster maybe. Hopefully it's really good, but this card stands out to me. This girl stands out to me as a card that we're able to summon straight out of the deck. These two are really interesting, being able to like search you a labyrinth trap straight from the deck pretty easily, but they are technically -1s because you have to send something from hand. This trap's really good. These two are okay, and I would say this trap's pretty good. It's probably good enough to play at the very least. So there you go. I mean, a lot of stuff kind of going on here. I'm very curious to see where they go with the last card in the archetype, and there's definitely synergy with Lair here. It seems to have good synergy with normal traps, seems to have good synergy with fiends, seems to have synergy with Ties of the Brethren. I really want to theorize this deck right now. Maybe I'll probably make another video very soon talking about theory with how to combine this deck with Lair, and I honestly can't wait. So there we go. Really cool. I'm honestly most excited for this out of all 3 archetypes, even though I am excited for all 3 because I love Zephyrs, so Valiants are cool to me. I love Magical Musketeers, so Mr. Rune is interesting to me, and I love Lair of Darkness, so Labyrinth is interesting to me. So I'm actually hyped for all 3 of these, but let me know your thoughts down below. Where do you think this archetype sits right now? Does it feel like it doesn't do enough turn 1? It seems like it has a lot of recursion, a lot of follow-up, but it doesn't do enough turn 1. Literally the only interruption we saw here was like the trap that says like pop a monster. That was like legit the only interruption the deck has so far, but maybe combined with Lair could be something sweet, so we'll see. But I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Thank you so much for watching as always, guys. I will see you in the next video. Peace. Yeah, peace.